Previously on Esoteric Ebb. So we were called here to investigate a tea shop that had been blown up, and it was Lady Sage Leaf that called us here because for some reason she's not allowed to enter the premises even though she's the one supposed to protect it. And it's Coin Lord Darrow that blocked it off now. But when we came here, we were pushed into the river and we died. And that's how we woke up. Now we have... Yeah, I'm running this without cam because I've been so tired, and the idea of having the camera on made it more difficult for me to record, so I didn't, which made me decide not to have the camera on because I just want to enjoy the game. But we have a couple of things that we could do. One of them, like if we want to enter the tea shop legally, which I think I would want to do because we have no strength, we have to go to Coin Lord Darrow, and he's up the hill. We can also decide to try to follow this guy who is the owner of the tea shop and this Frank, son of Frank, that apparently saw it all happening. Now, we also have the side quest of... we can fix these. I equipped the watch, by the way, because it gives +1 intelligence. I didn't equip anything else because it gives -, so F that. Also a röstkort. That's kind of fun. Voting card. We want to fix our ruined prayer book, which means that we want to find this bookshop. But then I was thinking that one thing right now is that we don't have particularly high level. Can we just eat this one? No. How do I eat it? Yeah. Alright. So, an idea that I had was that we could just basically run around a little bit and try to increase our level to make things a little bit easier. So I think I'm just gonna get a lay of the land, because if you look at the journal, like this, the area is not that big. We came out of here from Viscan's lair, and we've been around here. And here, around Pillar Crossing, is when the Birdman, or Frank of Frank, I don't remember, one of those guys went in there. No, sorry, Frank of Frank went down somewhere here. We don't know where. Frank of Frank went in there. So we could go down and explore the underground as well. But I figured, let's just... because I think Darrow's sitting there. Let's walk around a little bit. See if we can get some more exp and increase our level a little. First, Dwarven Stone broke in half. Pure violence. Because right now I feel like that's what we're missing a bit. I don't even want to behold and stuff. Let's just explore for a little while. There are no funds nor focus needed to restore these structures. Okay. All right. Can we get in there though? A corner of Norvik still standing in the gate era. Behold! Active machinery. Oh! This looks like a dungeon. No. A bunch of site safety rule, then it says if broken, contact your local union representative. Up to the roof. Because I figured if we get a little bit stronger, if we are to encounter anything. Letter wedged between the tile roof. Okay. Sure. Handwritten note entitled Important Notice. Okay. To resistance members of Tolstad. What are they resisting? You ever heard of resistance, Snell? Yeah, Norvik Resistance or whatever. Minor organization. Basically a bunch of human kids causing trouble. I only know them because they wiped away some goblin graffiti a couple of months ago. Ow. I went and talked with one of their moms, nice old lady, in the East Housing. After that, we didn't have any trouble. Housing, a nickname for the housing district where the poors live. The housing district, one of the 5 districts in Norwich, the poor area of the wide west side of the river, named as such due to the earth folk originally being housed here while earth cleared out the ruins in what is now known as the palace. Oh. Nationalists? I think. Bunch of boys. Human boys tend to lean nationalistic for certain reasons. Yes, obviously. Roll your eye despite the fact that he cannot see it. Boys can be non-fascist. It is possible. It shrugs, sure, anything's possible. Read the note. Tonight, thing is cancelled. Meet up tonight on Water Lane instead. It's time to stop the chants. Signed by R. The chants? A locally produced newspaper by Askal authors. Water Lane. You know what Water Lane is. Don't be stupid. It's right down below. You know, the underground port. Largest port in the city. I mean, did we actually go there? I don't think so. The closest path is probably through Pillar Crossing. Yeah. When's the meeting? This evening, it seems. Tonight should mean something like between 19 and midnight or something. Right, interesting. A bit scary too. Young people should not be running around. They could hurt themselves. Okay, I'll stop looking now. I mean, sure. Can we get on this thing? Why is it highlighted? No? Okay. Oh, too bad. There is smoke. Okay, still haven't fully recovered from being sick. I don't... Oh. Can we wait for that thing to come here? No! Take it! Oof. Oh. Oh. No! Just wipe in your hand and pull it back. Pull it back now. That doesn't seem to do anything. What? It's stuck. What? Yeah, this is bad. Oh no, your fingers. Lucky we ate the mushroom. Gets pulled down. Oh no, the pain's blinding you, but you feel it. The fall hits the ground. Oh my god, no. Oops. You're alive somehow. That was fucking awful, but it was close. Clegg, what the hell? Your eye. The goblin lets out an groan. Be more careful, okay? Next time. Come on, you gotta try it again, don't you? Oh my god. How did I how did I... No. Alright. That's so fucking stupid. Sorry, I didn't read. Oh god, there's several stale baked goods here, huh? Yum. Roller mill workers kept more than ledgers in the archives. Okay. Must lead to the rest of the roller mill. You know, engage with it. Feel the handle. It refuses to budge. Oh yeah? Loctite. You know, I feel like we have a pretty high dexterity, but we keep failing every dexterity test so far. He shut it. He shut it. All to keep his people at bay. An owner in fear of his labor. If you want to read up something scary, look up this triangle shirt factory when it comes to closing the door on the people working in the factory, and then it catches on fire and people die because they chained the door. You're getting, that's actually a real story. You're getting all that from looking at a locked door. That must lead to the back office. Haven't been in there before, but I think they closed down a while ago. Heard rumors from some goblins that worked here. I think the owner fired them all out of nowhere. Huh. No. I mean, we could try. If they're closing down, why is the mill spinning? Yeah, that's actually concerning now that I think about it. I'll ask around later. Nothing to worry about now, though. Okay, well, let's just try it. Oh, well. Fail. Okay. You fumble with the lock, your tool slipping. Almost. No, it won't budge. Your hands are too clumsy for this delicate work. Try again or find another way. Oh, he helps. Oh. You know, that's what I mean. We've been failing every test. Do we even go down? Because if we do... I feel like this is a dungeon. And I said that we were gonna exp up a bit first, but no. Oh, okay. No. Regular, non-giant crab. You spot a crab on the rock? It does a little shimmy. Yes, cleric, that is a crab. Pet the crab. You reach for the crab immediately, snips in onto your index finger. Huh? And the crab pinches, grips your finger hard. Hard. Your index will come off soon. Oh my god, I'm the worst cleric. Okay. Please let go, Mr. Crab. Snell, call for help. I'm being assaulted. Okay, you know... Oh, thank fudge! You use your free hand to pry the pinchers off your finger. When your index is released, you immediately feel the blood begin to flow once more. Freedom! It was a good little finger. Sorry, fighter. Good crap. Are you allowed to loiter here? What do you know about the tea shop? What are you voting for in the election? What do you know about the tea shop? It snips with its pinchers once. What's that, Krabby? Johnny Longneck blew up the tea shop? Johnny Longneck, one of those pirate legends. Many adventurers seek his ship and tomb in the Reedsian Wastes, okay? Damn, guess we'll have to find him. Johnny Longneck, not again! Him and his dastardly plans. Also, I'm joking. Please do not take this seriously. We're not going into the Reedsian Wastes to seek out John Longneck's crash site. Spoiled sport. Are you allowed to loiter here? It does not respond. What are you voting in the election? It makes no noise in reply to your question. Citizen, leave. Okay. Cool. Still not convinced about this. You hear the dockyard beyond. Okay, you know, whatever. I never follow my plans anyway. Oh. Conquest by river, by land and heart. Okay. I really thought it was a little miniature ship standing there. Oh! Do you see the thing? Why is it spying on us? That's what I'm wondering. Oh. Statue of Earth. Who left it here? You approach the shrine. Oh, yes. And yes, the little figure does count as a shrine. Should I move it? It's like in the middle of the road. No. Well, it has chosen its path. What? The figure of Earth, it's a makeshift shrine meant to stand exactly where it is and where it might go. Ready to serve whoever needs him the most. Of course we failed. I wish you were a man capable of something similar. Okay. Take a deep breath. Pray and tranquility. Oh, okay. Contemplate. Women. No, okay. We could do that, but I don't feel like... I mean... it feels like it's just wrapping things up. That's gonna be useful later. Prepare spells. Because right now we do have this one, that one, and this one. We could take... Because I think this cure won't cost less, no? It does feel like that. Okay, because we can have 4 spells, so that's good. We only have 2 spells left now, though. The Never Sleeping Dock of Water Lane right below here. Oh, see? We'll do something good. So we're going to need some rest at some point, because I've already wasted some spells. These pipes connect with the vast sewer system of Tolstead. You look extremely busy doing what the fuck? I don't want to know who's standing behind the crate. Okay. Alright. No. Oh my god, my favorite thing in the world. The bin is making a sound, a strange sound. How strange. The trash inside the bin speaks to you. Don't fall for it. This is a type of scam, surely. Getting you to root around the trash. I will root around trash. The voice is from a primal spirit. Open it. Look to Snell. He gives you a nonchalant half shrug. It's water lane. There's always something going on here. Open the trash can. As you lift it aside, you immediately see something moving in the pile of shredded documents and old scrap of food. A pair of legs. Cyborgs. Oh! It's one of those things. Suddenly jumping out of the pile with a poof of molded dust. It's a pine cone. Pine cone with limbs. Moorhorn! It hands you some leaves while doing a strange, seemingly improvisational dance upon the trash. Wait, are you one of those... Did you just hand me trash? Are you one of those... Before you're able to do anything about it, the little creature poofs away. Disgusting little creature. Not really, but okay. As it fades, you see only trash. I've heard about these things, never seen them though. What do you know about them? We've seen them everywhere. Just what I read in the newspaper and what Nessan goes on about. They're called vettar or something. Yeah. The Lamp Lighters Guild had a public spat with them a couple of months back. He pointed to the lamps behind you. Apparently they messed with the everlasting lights. Not so everlasting then. That's not allowed. The city need those lights. Not so everlasting then. Guess it's a PR name. I get why they are mad, but I think they solved everything once the RCG got involved. And they're supposed to be all over the garden too. Not that I've ever seen one. Anyhow, they clearly seem to like you. Let's keep it like that. You know, I think they're cute. Also, I mean, we could go in, I guess. How do I would want to interact with the thing above. No. The sign says we are closed for today. Our staff, okay. I mean, try to go in here. This door looks promising, okay. You stand before a damp door on a cramped corner house. The wood is dark, swollen with the perpetual moist of water lane. A layer of river mud and algae. You know someone here? No? Yes? Knock on the door. You wrap your knuckles against the wood. A solid rhythmic knock. Wait. A moment passes. Then the sound of a heavy latch sliding. The door creaks open. A pair of bulbous eyes stares at you. It's an honor run. Alneran, a fancy name for frog folk and toad folk. I don't see anything. You've heard they don't like those terms for some reason. Dressed in a tiny velvet smoking jacket. Quite distinguished despite the lack of pants. Qu'est-ce que c'est? What is it? Oh. I am busy, très occupé. Just passing by, I wanted to introduce myself. I have some questions. I wanted to introduce myself. Mon Dieu, why? Wait, he squints at your uniform. Are you a, how do you say, le cléric? That doesn't sound like Earth tongue. I am the cleric, yes. Oh, bon. Okay, so now we declared twice. Yes, because that's also a thing. We could go for whatever class we want, but let's just fully lean into the cleric shit. That's funny. Okay, he nods respectfully, like a stupid cleric. Okay. At least you are not from the teeth house. The Honoram peeks his head out behind the door. Tu veux quoi? Ask for contribution to your cause. Oh. Why do you ask if I'm a cleric? Because you smell of incense and self-righteousness. C'est évident. Imbecile. Rude. What is your name? I am Gillian de Crété. Great name. What does it mean? Nothing you need to concern yourself with. What do you do here? I live here. Je vis ici. Is that a crime now? In this Modate city? He seems defensive. Nice house. No. It is as you say. Cheat. Temporary until I take the next ship home. He gestures vaguely to the port. Ask for contribution. I mean... At least the charisma works fine. Just smile. The kind of smile that opens wallets. Oh, and kiss his ass. Hard. My good sir, surely a gentleman of your stature supports the arts or the holy cause. Ah, flattier. Flattier. He sighs. His throat pouch inflating slightly. Told you. You are charming. C'est un nouveau? He reaches for something on the other side of the door. Take this. Now, au revoir. He shoves a fancy bottle towards you. The door slams shut before you say thank you or anything else. Look at it. Ah. Oh, isn't that the same symbol that was like for the weird kid that we chose, actually? The pinkish liquors inside swirls around. Lovely. This will make things much smoother. So you really just went and knocked on a stranger's door. Look, I'm not gonna knock on your methods too much, but if you keep this up, we'll be done by 6 months after the election. And you didn't even ask about the tea shop, not once. I didn't? You didn't. I'm fairly certain I slipped one in there. I'm fairly certain you did not slip anything, metaphorically or otherwise, into anyone. He's on to you. Don't be so negative. The goblin closes his eyes in a short, silent contemplation. Then he says, maybe stick to the le point interest, okay? That's funny. I like that. Oh, okay, so we can go down Torna, the first of the river guilds. Stares down to the bustling docks. We actually have a quest at the bustling docks. Democratic propaganda. Note on doors is open at sundown. Okay, we could go... I mean, let's just check what's up, I guess. The little poofers. One of the many free striders compounded the city. Oh! Beware those fangs and the rest too. You know, yeah, I'm not gonna pet that one. Top entrance to Askani Reed's trading company. Oh wait. Oh, closed. Is that why we want her to finish up? Okay, yeah. No one can dismiss the dwarf's architecture genius. Excluding the anti-magic message, freeze-dried or something. Okay. Office of Snurre App. Okay, well, can we go in? Yes. Alright. Snurre. Snurre would be like the dizzy or like absent-minded. That's how you would say it. Almost dead, but not yet. Children's drawing on the wall. A scholarly comment of... Okay, something. Something's at the bottom. Coins? I mean, he's sleeping. Something stuck between the pages. I mean, what the fudge? Dream patch, sure. Collection of books, political mostly. You see a collection of books from the philosophy canon, none of which you are really able to understand. Next to them, a line of famous political books: Ascalist Theory, Hedonist, The Dark Book of Shadows, Lexandro, many more. Hedonist, an infamous group of activists and anarchists spawned towards the end of the Coast War. So there was a big war. That's very much Disco Elysium too, right? They had some big happening many long time ago. So you can really see the Disco Elysium inspo they had when they did this, but it's such a nice, cool arc that you're doing with the D&D sort of freedom almost. And I'm really interested because we've been playing now for about 6 hours now in this game, and we didn't really do anything. We've just been walking around and we're trying to just like the main thing that we're doing is explore the tea shop. And I'm even thinking that is going to just expand a lot. And then we have the political thing and stuff like that. But if we look at the stuff that we can do, the circle of like there's dots around that I guess we're going to unlock like if we're exploring more of the quest. Even that is not that big, but it still feels like this game is going to be huge. And we're just in the beginning. Infamous group of activists and anarchists spawned towards the end of the Coast War. They stand for something, probably. Mostly, they're known for inciting riots and playing with demonic forces. Okay. No freeze-dried to work. Disappointing. We can just open them, I guess. Okay. First book placed in your hands. Open it. Look inside. It's old, worn copy of same text. Musings about the divine area of the great walking gods. Okay. Term to describe divine avatar. Rose fell from the ground. Mostly religious. Okay. A history lesson morphing into a series of guidelines. How modern leaders. Okay. The proven, the organized, the divine. Although written from a perspective of a non-faith nor service to the holy, but rather of the service of the state. The modern theoretical. Okay. State national. I'm not gonna read all of this. It's basically just talking about fascist idea. Emotional and illogical nationalist extremist, basically a cultist. Okay. A good book. Knew what he was talking about. It's almost like he wrote directly from the struggles of today's Norwich. Dangerous ideas. Fascisms lead to many cities astray in the reads. Whatever your thoughts are, this book is used to reshape the city. Okay, you live in fear with the path. Okay, put the book away. The book. Always listen to your hungry stomach. You should listen to the book and the stomach. This crazy old text. This wonderful manual. Same as always, the book begins inside. Okay. Then on the 5th page, you find a diagram showing how the ritualistic summon a demon. It's incorrect, however, on purpose, supposedly. Okay. Processors experience the heroism, blah blah blah. Paints up an image of the ideal world. It is the thing that makes you feel good. The text of truth. Okay, free love. Flip to the page 52. You remember it well. It has pictures. Tiny scribbling. Something in the figures. You remember the words again. Make ultimate sensation of flesh. Okay, kind of hot in a sad way. Look at the chapter of. Okay, yeah, put away. Open. Beast of Yore. Most are gone today. It's not so. If you want to read this, you can always just pause and read it yourself. But I'm not really interested in everything that's being said here. You haven't read this before. Luckily, you don't have time to do so either. Okay, good. The book has a rather rough tone and quote. Those who believe in democracy have a wonderful view of folk. To think them capable of making rational and informed decisions devoid of personal bias and emotional conduct. Yeah, I actually agree with that. From what you remember, it caused quite a stir when it came out 2 years ago. You recall the rumors of Shield Lord Yarn having hated this book so much. Blah, blah, blah. Shield Lord, the magistrate handling in industry, armories, and city defense. Okay. Probably not true. Probably. Okay. We got the black cover tome. That's the most evil book I've ever seen. How they even get the cover to be that black? It's like a void. A memory lingers in this tome. If you open it, you shall recall. We might die, but okay. Ooh. Oh! The text is not dangerous. The pages show a holy scripture of the Shadow Lord's lost religion. One of the eternal servitudes and the search for life and in death. However, you remember it well. This was the first book you were ordered to study as punishment for your idiotic behavior at the towers. You remember. Oh my god, your first journey towards the esoteric. Please. Okay. How liberating it was. To you, beyond any doubt, how much greatness hid within your mind. Blurred faces, hushed whispers. A crowd of thoughtful peers, each snickering about your hand. A raised hand among a crowd of sheep. Patriarch, it is not just a religious text. They stare at you. It's a spell book. Those were the words. Oh, how they laughed. He asked you to prove yourself, so you did. I went up to the Patriarch. I took the Book of Shadows. Yes, then yes. Memorized detect alignment. Okay, you memorize it on the spot. Then you cast the ancient spell once used by the Death Knight of the Shadow Lord to subjugate and control the minds of his people. A spell that is, despite its first level, not learned by most clerics until they grasp the intricacies of higher tier casting. Everyone was left stunned by your excellence. To not only master such a spell, but to do it in seconds instead of days. That moment, it was yours. From that moment, you marked your place at the towers as the greatest spellcaster, the great talent among them all. However, as always, the weak fear the strong. The moment also began your ostracization. You would never be among them, never have peers. None would see you in a way as a brother or comrade. I would be a leader. I would be an enemy. I would be an obstacle. I would be their end. You are. And you shall continue to be. Damn, your vision is blurry. It is filled with pages of the book. Did I learn something? It feels like I may have learned something. Yeah. That's interesting. So I can cast it on people just to find out stuff. Also, what the hell is this? Consume? It's you! Small amount of pixie essence incorporated into a sticky patch. Can be used to recover 3rd level spell slot. Damn! Contains sophisticated grants a minor charisma increase for a week. Well, I'll leave him alone. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do the behold. Oh. Scholar of the Ford Nip Commonwealth. A man working out of a hole in the wall. Later. Okay. You take a step into the cramped office, standing in front of a sleeping halfling. Kick the lounge chair. Good forenoon, citizen. Oh, he mutters and widens his bushy eyes. His confused gaze focuses on you. Life is pain. Glare at him. Terrible, terrible pain. Oh, he mutters and rubs his face. The wrinkles fold over one another like waves of storied sea. Are you? He looks at you with his wary expression, then he rubs his nose and sniffs twice. Are you here for the invoice? A quick glance to Snell. His words come out in a typical four-nip accent. What? No. Kick the chair. What? The invoice. I don't have an invoice. Not for you, at least. Leans over to Snell. Should I have an invoice? No. No? No? Oh. Oh, hold on. I already paid that invoice. You're here for something different. He leans in, facing Snell. I hope Queen Goblin has no quarrel with this old scholar. He holds up a palm. No, we're here in city business. On city business. Yes, I've got some questions about the tea shop mostly. I'm exploring random buildings and yours was unlocked. That's not... So a trespasser with a benevolent intent. I guess that's not too far off. Curiosity is absolutely vital for keeping the old brain in motion, so I commend you, cleric. You as well, my goblin friend. He looks around, grunting. Can I get either of you some fucking water, or... He'll swear words like a coastal wind. Oh, you like this guy. He's like a rabid dog without the biting so far. This halfling is wild in a fun way. No, thank you, your companion replies very quickly. You're a scholar of Appledance, right? Me? Yes. Yeah. I am Snurre Appledance. Appledance, yeah. He says and bows his head in the chair. Scholar of Fordnip University in dedicated service of the progress of AIS. AIS? But what exactly do you do? Many things. Primarily, my expertise lands on the topic of alignment and its many historical and contemporary applications. Some bullshit, I will tell you. These days, I mostly deal with other forms of study. Specifically, I run this office here on the experimental technique of psychoanalysis. What kind of magic is that? No magic at all. Although there's been some detect thoughts involved at some point in the development. It is a form of mind healing, as they call it. I'll be the one to call it support instead. It is essentially the idea of that the mental presence is shaped by the mental past. And that through dialogue, our unreleased unconscious ghost can be vanquished. An exorcism. So it's talking about feelings. I know, truly horrifying. A Rizian friend of mine, Rizian dump! It's the pirates. Once told me this joke, and I apologize if it's too vulgar for your taste, but he sputters out the words through little what? Whatever. Listen to the vulgar joke. Right. A cleric, an arcanist, and a rogue delve into the lair of a succubus. The fiend defeated all 3 men, throwing them in her dungeon. But she grows to fancy them, and she offers them a choice. For each man who can successfully satisfy her, she will let that man go. Otherwise, she was just alone and horny, huh? He speaks with little fits of laughter in between. She ends them, so to say. This is going to be a long tale. You actually haven't heard this one. Ho ho ho! A succubus? Such a fiend would never offer such terms to mortal men. What a rambunctious tale. Do go on. Not along. Okay, I regret this. Skip the joke, please. Not along. So the 3 adventurers debate in which order to go. Eventually, the rogue and the arcanist decide that the cleric should go first, as he is a virgin and will be least likely to increase her standards. Your goblin companion rubs his eyes as he listens to the joke. What the hell? This is the longest joke ever. Oh my god. Joke's supposed to be short and snappy. The cleric, being divine and so on, prays to his god and goes to the fiend's bedchamber. He comes out 10 minutes later, completely unharmed, and gives a thumbs up to his 2 friends, who of course both feel a great sense of relief. The arcanist goes in next, confident and arrogant. If the cleric could do it, the fiend must be easy. Within minutes, his bones roll out of the bedchamber entrance, the man having been intricated by hellish flames. Oh my god. The rogue is horrified, but realizes obviously the arcanist overestimated his abilities, so he carefully enters the bedchamber, ready to put every ounce of effort into it. Less than a minute later, screams erupt from the bedchamber and the rogue's lifeless corpse falls out of the entrance. The cleric prays for the soul of his comrades and gathers their remains for burial. The succubus steps out, smoking a cigarette. She tells the cleric, "My, your friends were truly terrible. They were just fumbling about down there. At least you managed to touch it a little." Oh my god. To which the cleric responds, "You are truly an awful creature, and I will pray for your presence to be exorcised from this plane of existence every day until the day I die." Then, before he walks away, the cleric also adds, "Oh, but I did heal that horrible wound you had between your legs. Hopefully that makes you less evil in the future." The goblin lets out a slight gust of wind through his nose. Laugh hard. I get it. I don't get it. Funny. Not funny. I don't get it. Oh. The halfling shortless loudly. My kind of humor, you might say. In short, you can view the succubus as an evil in the world which religious fervor would pray to repair. However, such reparation would often lead to a not so optimal path. He keeps on laughing. Or most simply, you could say it's basically it's a basic allegory of alignment itself. The cleric meant well for all intent, but his action cost the lives of both his comrades. Is that evil or is it good? And so on. So what, he just patched up her funny parts? What? That's weird. Either way, psychoanalysis, yes, that's what we were talking about. It's about your feelings, thoughts, memories, choices you've made, things that have happened to you. they can bog you down, so to say. And the goal of my clinical practice is to root that out of my patient's mind and help make them aware of repressed negative baggage, if you will. So one can move forward more speedily. I don't have any repressed negative feelings. Sounds like removing a curse of the mind. In a metaphorical sense, yes. But it's not the only thing I work on here. I am currently exploring the dream of Animus. Oh my god, we went straight over to Assassin's Creed. Okay. A dream of a man and a woman. What a pervert. You like this guy. You dream about men and women? Sounds interesting. Sounds boring. Sometimes. But the dream is just a concept of understanding gender ideologies. Beyond that, I also focus a lot on my own unverified theories. He slapped his knees and grins. The folk spirit. Have you heard of it? No, I have not. Understandable. It's not yet published. The folk spirit is the working title of my new thesis. Most of it is... See, we're at 450 exp out of 900, but that does not look like halfway on the bar. Most of it is, if you excuse my Anuran, fucking bullshit. But in short, it is about how each folk share a number of core communal archetypes, or myths. I have traveled around the coast to collect as many tales, writing down thousands of stories previously only passed down orally. All to see how well my theories holds up in the mind of so many folks. He clears his throat and leans back into his chair. Apologies, I'm ranting here. Oh my god. Let's put up stop to it. What do you want? What do you want, Cleric? Can you give me some mind healing? I want to inquire about this folk spirit. You're an expert in alignment, huh? How does death and resurrection work with all this stuff? Why don't you use magic in your mind healing? What is love? What do you know about the tea shop, the one that exploded? What are you voting for in the election? You're a halfling, right? Give me your thoughts on the clan land ordeal. I have some personal questions for you. Give me some mind healing. Of course! I am, however, a bit swamped in work right now. I'll give you a booked slot. I have time after the election. You should come visit then. Okay, I'll do that. I'll probably forget it if I'm being honest. He laughs at despair. I am forgettable. Truth be told, I am very overworked. I'm struggling with a certain topic. He makes a noise that might once have been a cough. The old man is frustrated. He's trying to avoid even thinking about it. What? I'm focusing on a specific idea of civics. The idea of two opposite faces of your ego, masculine and feminine. But I just can't seem to get past a certain obstacle. Explain. You see, there's a work called The Book of the Mind. It is, in my opinion, Cividic's masterpiece in the figurative sense. Oh, is it like a secret book? Hidden deep in some dungeon? Oh, no. I own several copies. There's a rare edition of this book which contains a rumored so-called final foreword from Cividix himself. In this foreword, he apparently reveals a revelation about his categorization of psyche, specifically on the topic of gender. Truly eldritch knowledge. Might be nothing, but it would be mighty interesting to get my grubby hands on it. He leans in and whispers, and more importantly, it would bring me great pleasure to know how much Cividix would be spinning in whatever Thasanian mass grave he's buried in if he knew a halfling like myself was pioneering in his footsteps. Ho ho! He wasn't a fan? Understandable, you guys are pretty weird. I was playing a halfling. He wasn't a fan? Like most humans of his era, he was very, let's say, humanity first. Snorre leans back in his chair. This final 6th edition of the book, it was only printed in 10 copies. The publisher then hiked up the prices in order to sell it to collectors. Those collectors have then spent the last 3 decades using these copies as a form of investment, making sure to keep the content of that foreword a tightly guarded secret. How terrible! A scholar's word should be freely available. Smart way of making money. If it is about gender, then it's better to keep it a secret. How terrible! Nothing is ever free, even if it is free. Yeah. So what, do you want me to find this rare book? I don't think I can afford that. You should save up money and buy one if you want it that bad. Okay, you want me to find the book? He nods. I drank a bit too much the other night, and in my desperation I paid the diviner to cast locate object for me. I didn't expect anything, and it was very expensive. However, she actually found it. A copy of the 6th edition Book of the Mind is here, very close to Waterlane View. And she even told me the exact direction. He points to the floor, about 40 meters straight down. It's in the city below. Yes, exactly. And you trust this diviner? Well, trust might be a strong word. Might be a bit strong of a word. Okay. But she was connected to the Freestriders, and while they are ruthless capitalists, they would not keep a scam artist around. Or if they did, it would be very funny, of course. What was the name of the diviner? Lisa, I believe, he sniffs. She used to have a hut on top of the Freestrider building. It wanders away, I think. Wandered. He makes a little walking motion with his fingers. Skadoodled, as they say. That's very strange. So Baba Yaga. She seems kind. I hope she stops working for those fucking parasites. Okay, meters. Right. That is something like 100 feet. 150 maybe. I know meters, but I just wanted to click it to get exp, hopefully. Sorry, the diviner was a freestrider. You know how they're like in reeds, silly decimal people. Reeds, the leftovers central of the coasts, which ripped the entire band apart. Today it's a shining beacon of everything modern and pretty and new and so on. This sounds like a quest. Move on. Sure, why not? So many side quests, Snell mutters to himself. Delve into the dangerous tunnels below and get me that book. Don't get yourself killed, and in exchange I will, well, what the fuck kind of reward do you want? You swear a lot. I want you to teach me how to be a man. I want you to heal my broken mind. I don't know, do you have any magical items or something? He shrugs. I have books in droves. You know what? He says and snaps his fingers. The book itself. It's expensive and probably magical in some sense. Get me the book, let me take a look at the foreword, and you keep the book afterwards. That's still a quest, right? But I don't have to even return to you in that case. I can just take the book and go on. So you can't offer me something else too? That sounds wonderful. I love quests. But I can just take the book and not return. True, he sighs. I suppose I can offer some guidance in understanding the book as well, if you let me make a copy of the foreword real quick. Cheers. This quest will be complicated. We'll see if you find it. He sniffs. I'm not an expert in what kind of weird shit is down there, but the city below is dangerous, so don't wander blindly. Good luck, Lyric. Oh my gosh, okay. Damn, okay. Imagine, if you will, this. Okay. Sure, good. Random idea, turn the tails, tail in the feel things, but interesting happens when we study the parts of the story, even we work to craft it. Isolated tribes, in the words of Jor himself. There's an overlap. Should I just let him speak? You just repeat the last thing he said. That'll make you sound smart. Overlap? That's funny. Okay. Human lives in remote mountains of Im, tropes and fundamental myth and human reads. Some same for halflings, Stormblood of Carbra have the same variation of my people in Fort, not despite a separate esoteric evolution at least 10 millennia. It is as if every folk is haunted by a spirit. Like an unconscious collective dream of concept and idea that follow us, even when those separate folks originated from entirely different worlds. Could you imagine? Two folks arrive through two separate gates of yore. They are alien to one another culturally, spiritually, biologically, yet they share those core myths. That is what I am studying. Oh, don't let him rant anymore, please. That's very interesting. I'm not sure I understand. That's stupid. I have no idea what you're talking about. That's very interesting, isn't it? Most importantly, it's provable. How is it provable? Reproducibility, analysis. Cultures folks who had no contact with one another, even originated from different worlds, both have the same core myths, narrative, direction, archetype, repeated tropes. It's the same method used when uncovering ancient dead languages, using common denominators to narrow down similarities and differences. He adjusts his mustache. Now, there hasn't been that much reproducibility yet from my peers. Still working on getting other scholars into this topic. It's just some folk spirits is better than others. Better means nothing. There's so much weight put on the... Okay, yeah, of course I also hate the horrible idea of every culture is amazing and wonderful and, you know, everyone is holding hands and dancing together. No. Okay. Every culture is equally terrible. Okay. But they're all specialized. These symbols we produce our cloth in meaning based on lived experience of human love. Okay. Yeah, okay. You talk a lot. I know. Just tell me to shut up when you get tired. What happens when two folks merge? Yes, delicious finger. No clue. It's even harder to pinpoint due to the nature of merging cultures. Yes, human and dwarves in Norway, there's more data. There's enough to say anything of note. Okay, for example, human can obviously reproduce with dwarves. What? But the offspring is always, as they're biologically speaking, very human, which does not make sense biologically. We are, scientifically speaking, different species. Dogs do not breed with cats, do they? Oh, that was a horrible example, but okay. The fuck? The same effort can be seen in most... Okay. Okay. Yeah, one-sided offspring. Alright. Know a lot about this topic, huh? Once again, I'm afraid it all comes down to experience. I reckon it's horribly so. So one side is always dominant. Not biologically speaking, but esoterically, yes. Objectively so. There's a list of this hierarchy in some textbooks, but it's pretty taboo topics, as you might imagine. But doesn't that mean the dwarves would eventually stop existing in Norway and just become human? That's a good question. If two people live alongside another for long enough to reproduce with one another equally, the offspring is always esoterically human, then yes. Eventually there would only be one folk, and it would be a people who look human. So I'm actually a halfling? Is that what you're saying? There's much proven data I can point to this without a basic assumption like that. So what he's basically saying is that at some point we were actually all together. We all have the same stories and the same monster. We were driven apart, evolved into different directions, and when we merged together again, we would become one species. Dwarves and the tribes incorporate, yes. Cohabitate, of course. Crossbreed, absolutely. Why not? But merge, no, impossible. Of course, this assumption ignores the Oso effect. And you think folk spirit follow the one-sided offspring? Maybe. I have not done enough to say anything for sure, nor have I been peer-reviewed, nor am I very sane or stable individual. I think I understand now. Move on. The goblin crosses his arms, ready to hear your comment. The halfling scholar leans back in his armchair. I think you're crazy. I think you got something cool cooking here. I think your theory needs a lot of work. I think your rant about breeding was very conspirational. I don't have any strong opinion. In theory needs a lot of work. He nods to you. That it does. Thank you for listening to my rant, cleric. You as well, my goblin friend. You're welcome. You're an expert in alignment. Somewhat. I wrote my masterpiece on the subject. That should account for somewhat of an understanding of the subject, but not enough. Never enough. Can you change your alignment? Of course. Any creature is capable of changing. So devils are just lazy then. He scratches his cheek. Bit more complicated than that. Look, like all things, it's messy. Let's say you're a lawful evil. I'm not. Sure, but for the sake of the argument, let's hypothetically assume that you are. But I'm not. I've talked with people like that. It's so fucking frustrating. Let's just imagine. No, I'm not. A moment of silence from the halfling scholar seemed to indicate that he is contemplating whether or not you are capable of entertaining hypothetical reasoning at all. Which from your statement here you are at least very much indicating you are not. Let us pretend you are. You find that being labeled as evil is bad for your business or your work prospects as one might. And you choose to donate a large sum of money to charity that will inevitably help thousands. You might even save some lives with those spent coins. But you said I was evil. I'm such a good guy. Of course. In this case, you performed an objectively good, selfless action for evil, selfish reasons. Yeah. So what happens next? He points to you. Nothing. Nothing. But I did a good thing. You remain lawful evil. But let's change the parameters. Instead, you're a lawful evil man who genuinely wishes to repent, to pay for the many evil things that you've done in your life before. If this man performs a selfless action with the intention of selflessness, then all of a sudden it will begin to shift his alignment. Intention is all that matters. What if if the outcome is really, really big? Intention that matters. Yes, okay. But even if you have that intent, it's a selfish intent, right? Because you want to change. This effect has obviously been studied for centuries. It's aptly named alignment intent studies. I personally received my scholarship through studying delusional intent. We gather a large amount of very mentally unwell people, mostly from local prisons of post-war reads, who truly believed in a very different worldview than most others. For example, this one man was certain that he had to kill his fellow man or the world would end. One murder a week. An extreme delusion. However, any detection spell showed him as a neutral good. And he felt terrible about all the murders he had committed. He was not selfish. In fact, he was more selfless than most, willing to perform acts of that horrified him in order to save us all. The objective outcome of his action mattered no more than the outcomes of the actions of a person under a charm spell. So what if you're not smart enough to understand your actions? How do you end up at your alignment to begin with? Are you born with it? What's the difference between alignment and personality? Wait, does that mean that everything I do is branded as good, evil, chaotic, or lawful? Even this? That I'm saying this right now? So you can will yourself into changing your alignment? In theory, yes. So what if you're not smart enough to understand your actions? That's what we call a sentient line. It's not exact. Animals, for example, are true neutral by default. Any that is not a pure beast, but rather affected by esoteric forces on some level. That's the theory, at least. But imagine a man who loses enough of his mental faculties to be considered a beast, no longer living in a world of good or evil. Let's say he was chaotic good beforehand. What happened to his alignment? Does it truly turn true neutral? Is he stuck in a chaotic good? Or does he somehow slide towards true neutral? Because that's another thing. There is no known way to perform a neutral action. All actions are either at some level selfish, selfless, lawful, or chaotic, on a wide spectrum. But you can never just move towards the center. It's just not allowed. How do you end up with the alignment to begin with? You're born with it? No. All creatures are born true neutral? No. And all reported metrics show babies are unable to perform alignment shifts until the age of 3 to 7, depending on the folk. But interestingly enough, it's shown that most people will only perform 1 or 2 alignment shifts in their entire lifetime. He scratches his cheek and sniffs a couple of times during adolescence. After that, less than 1/10 of folk will ever shift again. There's a fairly substantial verified data as well. So essentially, despite having free will, folk will always lean towards to the neutral behavior over time. So we're slaves to our nature. On broad scales, when looking at the data, yes. But it was Civdix who wrote, "There is no honor in branding a naturally selfless man as good. There is all honor in selfish monsters receiving the same title." Remember that. Okay, there's all honor in a selfish monster receiving the same title. I mean, I guess. So if it's in your nature, then there is nothing. So let's say if I'm a good person and someone is like, "You're a good person," there's like, that means nothing. But if a bad person does something good and they're being called a good person, that means everything. But what if I'm fighting against my will to be evil and it's a constant struggle throughout my entire life? Then there is honor in being called good because I'm fighting my natural alignment. What's the difference between alignment and personality? Not too much correlation on paper. Studies of personalities show that there is overlap. Folk tend to be more lawful. Neurotic and open folk tend to be more good to a minor degree. But we're talking about still unverified and very minor correlations. Wait, does that mean that everything I do is branded good evil? In some small sense, yes. The very act of speaking, no matter what you say, will always give you a very, very small point in any direction. Although, could you imagine trying to keep track of it all? It would be insane. So no person would ever go such length. So no need to keep track of keep track of stuff like that. It will only drive you mad. I've made my decision. I'm sorry? Chaotic good. That is not how it works, Cleric. You have to be incredibly deluded, and I mean an absolute living in your own world, mentally unstable, in order to simply decide what your alignment were and actually get an outcome from it. But I suppose it can't hurt. Good luck being... sorry, what did you choose again? It was... yes? Makes more sense to focus on yourself without being constricted by the rules. Chaotic then. Perhaps chaotic evil. Maybe don't say that out loud. Neutral. You're not like you're not gonna like it, but the goal is to end up on top, right? Win every conversation. And you're not really moving along the axis of law, so you're neutral evil. Though, seriously, whatever you do, do not tell that to the halfling. You should just opt out. Catechet! Right, good. And a little unorderly. I like it. It does good luck with that. Can you change my alignment? Okay. What does chaotic mean? That's the phrase. Okay, it's difficult. Chaos, yes, but generally you found that there is more common rule with the chaos follows because lies. In fact, any action that purposely goes against a known truth is considered chaotic. And of course, randomization, rolling a dice. Okay, yeah, good times. All right, I don't really care. Who decides what any of this means? Does alignment matter? Why isn't it illegal to be evil? Might as well be illegal to be sentient. Branding it as evil might be the core problem here, but there were arcanists who created alternate names. Okay, egotism, yeah. Alright. I don't have a family of my own. Would you feed your own family or sacrifice them to feed the other two families? Yeah. Depends. What are the other two families like? I'd feed my own family. What kind of man would willingly let them starve? That is a normal answer, yes. But what exactly is objectively considered a alignment term in this scenario? Is it selfish to care for your own people before others? Yeah. It's usually like that. It's the environment that decides. Then we go I don't really care, but click, 5x good. I don't care. Okay, good. How does death and resurrection work with all this stuff? Why don't you use magic and your mind healing? What is love? What do you know about the tea shop? Oh, horrific. I mean, you could go through all of the options and maybe hope to get 5x per little now and then, but it's not funny to dive this deep into it. Sorry, but if you want to read it to play the game. It just is widely towards the rocky wall. Shit started shaking. It was as if the red rock of Tolstad itself was cracking for half a second or so. So you were down here when it happened? Yes, I think I was asleep. But the sound woke me. Did you go and check it out? No. Someone told me later what it was like. I have work to do here. You hear anything about it? Rumors. You should not believe rumors, Cleric. But yes, I did hear some nasty stuff. Some people seem to think the owner did it himself since he's missing. Yeah. Some others think the city did it since they printed a clear lie in the post. I've also heard people say that the Askalists are responsible since it was their hideout. Or that the Free Strider did it for the same reason, blowing up Askalist opposition and so on. It's all bullshit, of course, don't believe rumors. What do you think happened? He shrugs violently. Okay, I got some other questions. Good. What are you voting for? Oh, I am a filthy Askalist. Oh, why? Pragmatic God dogma. The green banner is flowing in a strange context. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Look at them. They're shaking hands with the establishment. Okay. You want violent revolution? He frowns. Look. The hairman mutters. Genuine change, true change, needs a truly revolutionary break from the existing order. There's no doubt about that. Incremental reforms, small changes within the capitalism. Okay. My time in Reed made it that clear to me, but always... Okay. So I'll vote for the social democratic compromise. This handshake with capitalism. I hope next generation votes for a violent revolution. A compromise is good enough for now. Any Ascal... Okay. I, on the other hand, am not Ascalist. Okay. Compromise. You think I agree? Part of me does. But I do truly hate this idea of tipping the hat to these truly fascist regiments. And yes, even the revolutionary freestriders are fascists in a deep sense. Old Diminor. It's called Reeds. Okay. Freestriders is filthy opportunism, yeah. They are, I know. So what? We don't have to try to bring about Ascal's dreams. Freestriders are more than that. They're the ones who got this election started. They made elections happen when they are able to win them. That is both opportunism and imperialism at its worst. With a deep groan, he starts rubbing his hairy face. Workers unite, and an organization and guild power. It is all well and good until it gets too loud. Make it a bit too much noise, and the true powers quickly and efficiently drop this illusionary mask facade. The esoteric spell that tricks us into thinking they care, or that they are in any way Fulcarian. So what about you? You're voting Ascalist, I presume? Yes, they have my vote. Voting? Ha! My good gnome, I am entirely apolitical. See, I don't really know. Because I really keep flip-flopping back and forth. Which one I'm going for. And now I can't even go into my menu to look it up. I was thinking of making like a card, like what are the alignments, because if you look at the different your different skills, they also vote differently. So for example, if you follow your stomach, you don't vote for anything or everything. I see, you're an agent of complete narcissism. Maybe. What is it to you? I don't know that word. Your comment doesn't faze me. I know what that word means and it hurts. Very nice to hear. Also, you called me a gnome. So I'm going to try to insult you. Fair. That was a blunder. He snips. Now for something else before I start ranting about the suffrage. Okay. Your comment could glance at you. No, please. I really, really want to know what you're thinking about this. No. Yeah, I got some other questions. You seem interesting enough. Kind of you. But you're wrong. Alright, fine. Alright. God. It's funny to talk with a lot of people, but to be completely honest, that's just too much. Oh, hi. A dwarf. Okay. A cleric. Sorry, I'm busy. Deep groaning, the bell. Bell of water lane. Wait! He's the one with the green coat. No. Wait, hold on. Didn't we see Frank or Frank? No, dressed in yellow. Oh, okay. It was yellow. Never mind. The little thing. Oh, hi. Oh. A girl on a mission. She's out to fight for the green, no matter the battle. Brash exterior is no fakery. It is her heart worn on each sleeve. It's gonna be another one of those. Can I look at you? Why are you marked? Talk about politics a lot. A tense scene. Oh, a cleric just in time. Okay, 4 young guys, each looking a bit nervous. Wait, is this the showdown that was gonna happen? Except the angry-looking blonde kids. We've confiscated the illegal goods, he says and bows his head. For the city. Uh-huh. He turns his head towards the kids behind him. How's it going, Earth Nisse? I'm trying. Hold on. Are you militia? Great job, kids. Point to the lanky kid that's trying to cast a cantrip. Hey, stop it. He freezes and gives the blonde kid a nervous look. Oh, sorry, cleric. I'm Rollo. Rollo, the blonde kid says and takes a bow. Rollo Malach. At your service. Behind me is Earthnisse Stenbusken. Stenbusken is like the stone bush. And Tuli. We're members of the Norwegian Resistance, a movement to your thieves and ignorant book burners. Oh. The girl adjusts her spectacles and straightens her back. With all due respect, Mr. Cleric, she says, don't believe a word from these thugs. I really didn't to begin with. You notice the two other girls behind her, a halfling and a dwarf, both look at each other. Assholes! Careful, it's an actual cleric. Thugs? Come on, Modissa. Really? Like, the AI aren't just a bunch of ruffians? I mean, AY? I've seen enough. The goblin whispers to you inside, just activists clashing. The I? Hello, everyone. I am the cleric. They've stolen, she hisses, and then turns to Rollo to bark out, you stole our entire Warlane delivery. Yeah, sure, of an illegal newspaper. Lord Cleric, I assure you we're doing the city a favor here. I take that back, it's just a bunch of LARPers. LARPers, an insult meaning someone who's delusional and role plays themselves into position of power or importance based on LARP meaning live action role playing. I see, it's a lover's quarrel. Lord Cleric? I dig it. I am the Lord Cleric. Wait a second, no, I need to correct something here. I'm not actually a cleric. Okay, so I'm sensing a conflict here. Are you kids even allowed to be out this late? No, conflict. You're here to uphold the law, right? So arrest these assholes, now. The dwarf grabs her arm and holds her back. Modissa, calm down, please. Point at the Asgol girl. You explain your sides. Point at the nationalist boy. Okay, you, what's going on here? What does the law say about this conflict? The Asgol chant, or whatever silly name is the anonymously publisher gave it, is not licensed for distribution in Tolstad. At the same time, it is also illegal to steal delivery newspapers from mailboxes. Even if those papers are delivered illegally. That's a lot of illegality. Both are in the wrong. In different ways, yes. Okay. I could just charm one of them, right? With your witty sense of humor? No, the spell. That would be a solution. Tell them you're done here, just cast it on them and after that or something. Okay, well, I want to hear her. She scoffs. Okay, fine. Her dwarven friend mutters, Modissa, in a concerned tone. Her friends are trying to keep her from being too brazen. Why? If they're in the right, she shouldn't be brazen. We delivered the paper for the Asgalian chant. Maybe you've heard of it. It's a pretty big deal. He chuckles. She draws a sharp breath. We have busy schedules, and right as we started delivering the paper in Waterlane, this piece of shit started following us. Taking papers. Oh. Papers we've delivered right out of people's mailboxes. That's illegal, right? Asks the halfling girl. Highly illegal. Of course it's illegal. And then they grab one of those paper stacks from Serba, like straight up assault and theft. And Modissa, it wasn't. They can't get away with this. Okay, what's going on here? First of all, thank you for listening to reason. God, I hate when people are talking like that. I know we look like some dumb kids, but we're not. Is that the older brother of the kid that's in the newspaper stand? Do you think? Something about his expression makes you think the exact opposite. Yeah. He gestures towards like he's inflating his importance. He gestures towards you and then to himself. We are on the same team here. I don't look dumb. It says, looking dumb. Stop stalling. Tell me what you're doing here. Give him a hug. Give me a hug. Wait, what? So, we heard about the Askal chant being delivered on Tolstad. Or I did, at the guild. I work at the fishery, and I see every day how Earthfolk get radicalized by dwarven nonsense. So, I figured I'd get... Yeah, it's probably the older brother. I figured I'd get the boys with me and we'd, you know, put a stop to it. You want to stop the production of a copper paper. Through violence and terror. We, couldn't find out where the thing was printed or anything. A lot of copper presses, since signs don't really have an official companies behind them. Especially trash like the chant you hear coming from the short kid in the back. Go fuck yourself, Tolly. Hey, relax. I'm telling our story here to the good Lord Cleric. He turns back to you and coughs once. Of course, it is illegal to distribute unlicensed papers in every official district, so I asked around. Apparently, someone saw these girls at the university going around delivering it. Wasn't that difficult to figure out? It was Modissa doing the deliveries. Fucking Modissa! Huh? She's not allowed to do that, the large kid in the back says with a nod. Wait, do you guys know each other? There's a story here. Turn to the girls. They don't like you, do they? There's a story here. Yeah. Back in school, everyone knew who Modissa was. The Ascalist Annoyance, the blonde kid says with a grin. Such a terrible nickname. Unimaginative and boring. Also, fuck you. That's awesome. Anyway, that's how we got here. They're delivering an illegal magazine, and we put a stop to it. He grins wide and proud. What are you guys voting in the election? Not the time, says rubbing his eyes. The Workers' Party, she says. Duh. Same for me. The dwarf raises her hand carefully. Yeah. And these stupid boys are obviously voting for the party of Norvik. No, we're not. None of us are. Yeah, fuck that. What? Yeah, no. The silent kid in the back raises his fist in the air. Fuck the establishment! Ugh. Rollo nods to the cleric. There are deeper forces at work here. Divine forces. You should support the city kid. I see. You're also voting for the Ascalist then. Same. Oh, you're a free strider. Very cool. What are you voting for what? What? You're not voting for anything? Indeed. We're not voting at all. You're apolitical. That's impressive. I'm also apolitical. I don't engage with politics. What? You don't engage with democracy? The bad guys win. Apolitical. Oh, no longer a free strider. Okay. That's not a thing. It is a thing. What? Really? My aunt's apolitical. She says it's too much to think about with democracy. She liked it when Earth ruled. My dad says the same, but he'll be voting for the nationalists. Oh, that's what my aunt does too. Maybe she's not apolitical. Guys, focus. We, the blonde kid says, gesturing to the three friends, are fighting the evil powers ready to establish a true resistance to anti-human sentiment for Earth. The girl with the creased brow sighs loudly. Earth be blessed. Interesting sentiment. That sounds like a conspiracy. Take my god out of your mouth, kid. He stutters and looks to the guys behind him. Sorry. Okay, I've come to a conclusion. Good, she says and nods. Great, good. He's outwardly very nervous. Approach the blonde kid to see if you can get the nationalists to back off. Approach the girl. Isn't there a compromise to be found? Approach the blonde kid. Oh, hey! He stares at you, trying to retain his composure. You're frustrated already. You're likely to take it out on both sides if you fail to get them to give back the papers. Beware. Stare at him. Wave your fingers in front of his face. Are you good? Ooh, tell him to give back the papers and in a controlled and thoughtful manner. -5 DC. You spoke with Rollo's younger brother. Stare at him. The kid is horrified by your helmed presence. Wave your fingers. He flinches. Are you good? He looks away and then to you. I'm good. For what? The large bird asks. No, just good. Like a good person. Oh, that makes sense. That's not good. That is really not good. Oh, I didn't! I clicked one! Dude, I went... Oh my god. Dude, I didn't want to, actually. I was gonna take back off. Oh god, but I succeeded anyway. Tell him to give the papers back and the controllers off him. Puff out your chest. Puff out your chest. Take a deep breath. Place your hand on his shoulder. Your gloved hand grabs him firmly and he gives you a freaked out expression. Kid, give her back the papers. He mutters, trying to form an argument. No. Stay quiet. He glares at you. Give back the papers. He glances away from you. You can see his mind working behind those wide eyes. Then he slowly nods. Oh gosh. Young and dumb. Rollo snatches up a stack of paper and tosses them over to Modissa. She catches them with an oof, accompanied by a foul expression. Grumbling, the boys then leaves Waterlane. Gods be damned. The three girls collect themselves for a second. Shit. Yeah, wow, that was scary. Mr. Cleric, thanks. But thank goodness I rolled a nat 20. If I'd rolled 19, it wouldn't have worked. What the fuck? I didn't even mean to do that, stupid controller. But hey, it worked out. Chaos. Oh my god. Great. Now you fuck off as well and stop delivering that paper. Is genuinely very illegal. Your cause is good. Keep at it. Sigh and turn away from them. Within a minute, they've disappeared, leaving Waterlane in less rowdy than before. I'd say that was the right choice, even if those girls seem shady as well. Now let's get out of here. Yeah, I understand it's illegal paper, but also, if it's a true democracy, you should be able to say what you think. A street sign says it upper... Okay. Oh, is it the bookshop? Wait, did I... Yeah, the bookbinder. You got business here? Of course, I have a deep love for books. Knock on the door. Okay. Opens. Beyond you see a pair of yellow eyes glaring at you. Heyo! Bird. Is this pest control? The eyes quickly tilt to the left. No. that would be The eyes push closer to the slit in the door. As they do, a bush of grey feathers pokes out. Birdfolk. Cleric? No, I'm a wizard. I'm a rogue. Yeah, duh. There we go. You feel growing pulling towards cleric, yeah. The birdman behind the door ruffles his feathers. Shen Yelaine is my name. Shen Yelan? If you're not pest control, I need nothing from you. Please leave. I have a ruined prayer book. Can you fix it? Prayer book? Yes. I have seen quite a few. Drop inside. I will check a look. Drop it in. Yes, horrible. Salt water. Left swollen. You could have avoided the worst of this if the drying process had been handled better. I will rebind this foul mess for you. Great, thanks. How much will it cost? We will see. Depends on the process. I will need guidance on the direction of the rebinding. The spells inside are lost, however, the style and formatting can be saved. Using my skills, I can aim at something from the towers which would be most similar to the original work. I could also focus on rebinding it in the style of a Druic ledger, or perhaps a grimoire of the dark and forbidden arts. Forbidden magic. Isn't that illegal, hence the name? I'm a registered spellcaster in your city. He lets out an annoyed bird sound. That gives me the rights to handle any magical component and tools, no matter the outcome, as long as I do not cast it myself. Thus is your law written. That sounds like it could be abused. Sounds profitable. It is indeed. You know Druic stuff? I have many customers, including the various druids of the city. Do you think that this is the bird guy who owns the tea shop? Or maybe he's housing them. I should have said that I am pest control. Damn. They have an aversion to modern practices themselves, hence my services are well appreciated. Have you worked on many clerical tools? Yes. I'm not an official merchant of the tower, but many come to me for better prices and better services, despite how little most clerics enjoy working with my kin. Yes, most clerics are quite hateful against non-human after all. That's terrible. I'm not like those other clerics, I promise. I do not care. I'm not your friend. Now make a choice. Just remake it. Make it as well as you can with those original intentions in mind. Choose an intelligence upgrade. Ah. Well, I want the wisdom one. That I will do. Return to, so you could choose between the wisdom, the intelligence, or the charisma, but I'm going for wisdom. So let's do that. I was thinking wisdom dexterity, but we'll see. Return tomorrow, not while the sun rises. I am either resting or working intently during those hours. Sun, the light of the day, the great source of power that moves along across the sky. Okay. Anything else you want? You want to go drink at the tavern later? Are you a scholar? Why do you need help from the pest control? Rats. Oh. They're awful. Keep spawning out of the sewer pipes. Yeah, the PCG should really take care of that. Yeah. He lets out an angry bird noise. But the bastard guild leader, Sleep, keeps telling me they don't have time. No time. They have a dozen teams running around the city. No time. I heard the big problem is that they cannot get anyone to do pest control missions at 1-star level. 1 star? Yeah, they got a whole ranking system. The halfways that we haven't relied on the PCG for years. They just don't have the time for anything over a 2-star danger ranking. Halflings is short for HVBT, the halfway bridge tribe. It is very annoying. I have looked into it, and the problem is the pest control team that joined the guild only take on 1-star mission for a couple of weeks. Then they quickly start focusing only on higher paying tasks, and all the actual normal pests keep on spreading throughout the city. It is a ridiculously idiotic system, so they're just waiting for it to become a 2-star one. Right? So while all the mimics and monsters keep getting slashed, nothing is done with these darn rats. Entirely due to it being a public thing, of course. Had it been privatized from the start. I mean, yeah. The bird takes a few breaths after his rant. Worst part, my nephew has a team himself, the White Doves they're called. And I've tried sending messages to him also, but he just says the same thing. Too busy, too busy. I could join the pest control guild. Tell me more about your nephew. I could take a look at it. It does sound kind of like a quest. If you do, I would be very happy. The rat seems to come from the sewers connected to the city below. Tell me about your nephew. He calls himself Valerian Wind Rider. That is the Norwegian way of saying his name. He's also active within the Freestrider party if you're interested in throwing a vote for one of my fellow Owlkins. He works with one of those filthy yobos, which I am not very happy about. Oh, and a halfling, a cleric in fact, of the Lady Fair Church. That's interesting. Thank you for telling me about them. They sound sketchy. I heard of that church. Over in housing, right? That's the one. I think they're connected to that with that orphanage. I can join the pest control guild. The Halfman scoffs. Sure. And then you'd go and take on all the big and scary monsters and crawling up from the city, ignoring all the actual pests, just to get a payday. Yes, that does sound that does sound like exactly what I'd do. No way, I'd work my ass off trudging through the sewers, catching rats for a barely nothing payout, all the satisfaction of a hard day's work. Really? Probably not, actually. Of course. Well, good luck with that. Wanna go take a drink? No. So stern. You're a scholar. You're interested in the arts. It's kind of my job, yeah. I was trained in the knowledge back in the three wings. Wigs. Yeah. I know many things, but no time to talk or share. Busy. If you want scholarly teachings, go speak with my upstairs neighbor. The gnome never stops talking. Oh, Snurre? He's not a gnome, he's a halfling. You know him. Good. And I will not learn the difference between gnomes and halflings for the same reason you people call my kind bird folk, clumping us together with the foul feather of the darker bands. Fear, most spite. Understandable. Yes, it is. I finished with my prayer book. I'll be on the door, go silent for a few seconds. His yellow eyes gazing at you. Judgmental. That is what it looks like. You. Benedum. Do you suffer from memory loss? Yes. Maybe in an esoteric sense, but no. Oh, right. I just turned the book in. Sorry. The owl size. Come back tomorrow. And consider seeing a professional for your erratic behavior. Yeah, thank you. Okay, good. So we did that. That's what I wanted to do. Pillar crossing, yeah. We need to do a long rest before we can try... Before we can try talking with those big pillars again, I think, as well. And I would want to do that, because that's also one of the quest things. Your muscle tense up. Face of an okay, a face of iron appears from nothing. You hear the goblin say something to you. Dagger. One-handed piercing weapon, good for making holes in clerics. He doesn't need to raise his voice. You know the gravity of the word. Oh my god. Our first fight. Get ready. Fucking... Really? I rolled a 1. Blood pumping. All of you are ready for that. I don't even have a weapon. Masked one is ready. Masked one immediately rushes forward, a sharp dagger thrust towards its targets. Dude, I'm dead. I didn't even heal. The string is severed. Dude, what the fuck? Are you serious? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I was like, oh well, we passed it before. I'm just gonna go look at the stone. Okay, I didn't expect that. Okay, that's great. That's fucking hilarious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't even have a weapon or anything. Okay, you know what? We're not gonna go there. I wasn't prepared for that. I was thinking that I would walk around and gain some axe before we do anything. Oh, they moved on. Instantly dies, fails every saving throw. That's great. What was this? Okay. Oh yeah, we didn't go down here. Can I not? Okay. And I only have 2 spell slots as well. I mean, I have 4 spell slots, but 2. Oh, and one other thing that I started thinking... Hello, crab. One other thing that I started thinking about. You remember the pipe that I went through? If you had a smaller companion, he could help you. You glance at the ladder. It's one hell of a climb. Those cogs, they could swallow you whole. What kind of man... No, what kind of human cannot climb a simple ladder for... oh god. Oh no, you close your eyes as you do in order to fully immerse yourself in the experience of changing your elevation. You are afraid. It's very high, yet your body remains calm. Wait, your left foot, it's not on the ladder anymore. It's not good. Your right foot. That's one gotta be on the ladder, right? I'm afraid to say that no, both of your feet have slipped off the ladder. The distant cry of a concerned goblin is far, far away from you now. As your entire being is fading into nothing on the floor of the random rolled mill on the tollstone. Hold on, am I dead? There's no need to fret. You've been given your due. That is it. This is your end of the stick. Okay. You're the servant of Earth. You've dedicated your entire adult life to serve him. This is not how you're rewarded. No, no. You are. No, I refuse this end. Reach out. You refuse. Not like this. Grab onto anything. Discover esoteric event. What? The world distorts around you. You were falling, then you were not. What did I do? Your body is on the verge of breaking. Every moment a painful reminder of the 1,000 others who failed just like you just did. You will not come out of this unscathed. I'm not dead anymore? No. 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 Oh my god! I'm scared. Don't worry, honey. He'll be okay. The cleric knows what they're doing. Why are you laughing? Don't do that. Your laugh sucks. Be quiet. You follow them as they dance. One seemed to be good. One seems to go good, but it is far away. Yet it is moving closer. By what force? Is it him? Take the string. Is anything me in a good man's quest? You are at the top of the ladder. Gods, you're slow. Can we get moving now? What the hell? Huh. Okay, but now it's evening. That means that there should be more places open as well. Can we hug the pillar? Okay. You press your chest and arms against the cold surface. Alright. No, no. Finish up. Okay. But so, okay, so yeah, that one is closed now. We stopped the fighting down in the sewers. We still have the seagull over here. No, he left. Okay. Oh. What? Take it. Apple. Now that one is open. We could go and take a big hacking sippy if we want. They are still going. But damn, I'd need a weapon. I don't have anything. I mean, I would really want to fight that guy. Oh. He wants to kill you. Okay. Please don't. Miss nearly. Oh, another goblin. Level 1 bard. Love it. This one is looking to escape. She works hard, but only in ways that improves her craft, her passion. She does not care for politics or the world at large, yet she tries to uphold a sense of understanding in the order in the to further her art. Donation plates. The goblin glances at you as you approach the donation bowl. I want to donate crowns here. You do. How much though? Don't all go overboard. She's an artist. They are rich. You place a handful of crowns into the bowl. A good amount. Oh, thanks, cleric. Let her play. I don't want to donate 100. Can I talk with you though? You want to join my party? The goblin seems to be playing around with the strings on her instrument. She's tuning it. Hey! Her entire body jolts when she sees you. Your existence is shocking to her. I'm playing in a second, okay? Hurry up! Okay. Okay. I need some tense ambience for all the conversations I'm gonna be having tonight. You should play some debate music suitable for the lecture coming up. Take your time. She finishes whatever she's doing to see her instrument. Alright, let's hear this shit. This isn't really a dancing tavern, otherwise you'd go wild. Okay, here we go. Hey! It's Vera. Whoa. You want to join my party? Ah. Thousands of years spent guarding a hole in reality. Remember, her perception is beyond your ability to conceive. For her, a day is a fleeting moment unless you make it memorable. I'll make it memorable. A lull falls out of the ambient sheer, just a beat of uncertainty as this cleric steps before the tavern's singular attraction. This happens all the time. Visitors come to gawk and stare. Some brave ones speak with her. The lady of the house, the most delightful host. Towering, you stare at this somewhat feline creature up on the stage, a living myth, currently taking a swig out of a barrel. Clearly not paying you any mind. The scent of the cheap wine lingers in the air along with the esoteric sensation. Your legs tremble. Greetings? Give her a deep bow and don't say anything. Just stare at her until she reacts to your presence. Deep bow. Good. Treat her like a cat. Let her speak first. The Sphinx looks down at you. Meeting her glowing blue gaze makes you feel like you're falling far, far beyond the world. Her expression turns dark. She scrunches that pretty face of hers. Dark tidings bring you to the hearse, she says, speaking low and rolling. You'd expect her to act a bit drunker considering her empty barrel to her side. Then again, who knows how well a Sphinx holds her liquor. A helmed dog dragging its leash around the vestige of Jor. She extends a claw, thick as your arm, and pokes you in the stomach. Woof. That's ridiculous. Dogs don't wear helmet. That's rude. Woof. Her expression grows lighter, then she lets out a deeper breath. It smells like an old basement full of booze. Yuck. That sort of joke only works once, so no barking. If you want her attention, you must do something remarkable. She takes another sip from her barrel, not looking at you. Watch yourself, cleric, he whispers to you. Ulcis isn't one for idle chit-chat. Turn to Snell. You know the Sphinx? He shakes his head. Every night, there's a drunk jackass that asks for a riddle. She usually doesn't hurt them. It's fine, Snell, I can handle this creature, points at the Sphinx said. No, I'll be careful then. Oh, a riddle, that would be fun. Thank you, Snell. Did you not hear me? I wish to prove myself worthy, Great Sphinx. I have so many questions for you. Worthy, little one? Don't you give out riddles? Certainly. Are you ready? Rhetorically. Yes, please, I love riddles. She finishes last bit of her barrel and puts it down with a slam. Sounded like a book, but okay. Then the Sphinx leans in, hissing. Once I had the sun's favor, my creed clings close to wall. Matured in shadows, I've witnessed empires rise and fall. Once left in silence, now the life of the ball. She raises her paw and gestures to the open chamber. Yet I remained a draught of remembrance, a history thrall. What am I? Your companion smirks and gives a little chuckle. He knows. What do you think, Snell? What do I get if I get it right? Is this a trick question sort of deal? What do you think, Snell? The Sphinx turned to Snell with a frown. Oh, this seems like a personal riddle for you, not me. So I'm just gonna watch, alright? She nods. What happens if I get it wrong? She squints at you and raises her chin, same as all those who wander these halls. You will lose everything, eventually. She seems to... She means you only... She means your only pain upon failure will be existence itself, a mortal life. What do I get if I get it right? Sphinx shrugs and gives you a cold smile of satisfaction. How many guesses do I get? Hopefully none. But you are allotted one answer. Ah well. Of course. You focus your mind to come up with something. So anything that could be an answer to the riddle. Something old and time-worn that was once in the light and then lived in the shadows for a long time before it became popular again. What could it be? You only get one shot, so make it count. Okay. Once I had the sun's favor. My creed cling close the wall. Matured in shadows, I've witnessed empires rise and fall. Once left in silence, now the life of the ball. Yet I remain a draught of remembrance, a history. So you were first in the sun, like popular or like everybody knew. It's snails. No? That's not even a choice. I'm so tempted to Google this. I would want to say the snails. Why are they not here? Matured in shadows, I witness empires rise and fall. Once left in silence, now the life of the ball. Yet I remain a draught to remember as a history thrall. Honestly, I don't think it's any of these. Or maybe it is, I don't know. The Sphinx gives you a frown. No, that's wrong. What? Why? Yeah, that's fair. I didn't really pay attention. You're going to kill me now. You're gonna crush me to death. What? Why? Because it is wrong. Very wrong, in fact. There's no way you could argue it's correct in any coherent fashion. Watch me. I refuse. Although I suppose, yes, she gives you a strange look. Is she going to eat you? Are you interested in a quest, little one? Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely 100%. Good. Then you may have another chance to prove yourself. She gives you a serious expression. Accepting a divine quest from a Sphinx is no trifling matter, mortal. In fact, few would survive such an ordeal. A quest? Indeed, behind me stands a vault. It opens only to those worthy. She leans her massive head downwards, close enough for you to smell the wine breath. To prove worthy, you must solve my most ancient of riddles. So old it was handed to me when I first stepped inside this chamber millennia past. I'm pretty great at questioning. I don't think I have the time for this. Bow your head in silence. Your companion whispers to you, you're going on an epic Sphinx quest now? Turn to your companion and whisper, this is important, Snell. Okay. Maybe to you. No, really, it's very important to the job too. Convince me. You can grant me esoteric knowledge or like the tea or like the tea shop. No, you're probably right. If I solve the riddle, I'll go inside the mystery vault. Fair enough. Look, I won't stand in the way. Just don't waste too much time on it, okay? The Sphinx stares at your companion. A hero must face much adversity during his quest. She laughs quietly to herself and takes a swig of wine. Turn to your companion and whispers, this is important. So what exactly is the Sphinx quest? This is a riddle, the answer of which is not uttered in words, but revealed by actions. She goes quiet and closes her eyes. In action, so I can just listen. Found within the arcane flare, twin tongues of flame that scorch the air. She takes a breath, revealing a wicked grin. Burrowed deep within the earth, a primal string to show your worth. Then she leans in, almost whispering those final words. Folk and gods in thronging herds, a man divine alone howls his words. Easy, you understand it immediately. Oh, I get it. I don't get it. That's very vague. I love riddles, but I'll have to think about this one. The answer is not something you can speak. She uses a massive claw to grab something from her pile of stuff and tosses it to you. Oh. Once you understand this riddle, return here. You can only solve it during daytime alone. We wouldn't want anyone else accidentally figuring out this riddle, would we? She glances at your goblin companion. The goblin groans. I'm not interrupting the job for that. Do it in the morning or something before you pick me up. The Sphinx chuckles. I never sleep, so you can show up any time after sunrise and before the tavern opens. What have you gotten yourself into? Sounds like this could lead to one hell of a treasure. Can you tell me the riddle again? Can you give me a hint? Is it lonely to hang out here for millennia? Is a tavern your lair, or your lair a tavern? She lifts the barrel from her lips and holds it there for a moment. Eventually she lowers it and says, this is indeed a riddle worth pondering. Can I ask why? Why what? Why a tavern? I was convinced. She glances at the pile of wine by her side. It was not a battle quickly won, however. Riksbiter worked tirelessly for many an evening to argue her point, eventually and completing a few quests on my behalf. I let her rent out part of my lair, but only for a century. Oh, is that all? Do you like the hustle and bustle in here? I'm content for now. Has anyone ever tried to fight you? Yes, alcohol tends to lower risk assessment capabilities among mortals, which sometimes ends with violence. Always from a man, strangely enough. I do wonder why. I mean, okay. Didn't need to go there. You a big drinker? I partake. It's a barrel of wine, okay. It does little to affect me, but the taste is lovely. You never... Look at that. God. Yep. You never seen her sober, so who knows if it's true. Must cost a lot to get you all this wine. No, Riksbiter produces it all for me. Such a lovely river wine. Nice to see you enjoying your tavern lair. I've got other questions. Can you tell me the riddle again? As many times as you want, cleric. Found within the arcane flare, two twin tongues of flame that scorch there. So 2 torches, ever-burning torches maybe. Burrowed deep within the earth, a primal strength to show your worth. Folk and gods have in thronging herd, a man divine alone howls his word. Give me a hint? A hint? You dare stand before the Sphinx and ask for a hint? Well, not if you're gonna react like that. Is it some kind of social taboo? She puts down her barrel of wine and leans in. You can ask questions, but no, you do not get a hint. Wow, what a cool distinction, Holsis. Those are really different things. Okay. So I'm supposed to do something, not just answer this regular old word. With a regular old word, right? Correct. Do the action I'm supposed to do have anything to do with... That would be a hint. No such questions, please. What? What are the actual fucking rules here? What am I supposed to do? No location-based question. Okay. Has anyone else solved this riddle? Her smile fades. Only a handful of folk have been proven worthy to enter the vault during the eons I have watched over it. I will only tell you more if you prove yourself worthy, of course. I'll have to do something with your soul I'll have to do something with you to solve the riddle, right? No. She winches. Damn it, that was a hint. New rule, you get 1 hint. And she can make new rules, man, she's drunk. That was your 1 hint. It is not something to do directly with me. You can't just change the rule like that. So not like a dialogue with you or whatever. Got it. Something like that. She sips her wine, looking regretful. She says she's not drunk, but... I guess I have to try some stuff. Trial and error, not the most silly tactic I've ever seen over the years. She shrugs again, her cat shoulders sliding smoothly up and down. Which looks surprisingly funny with her whole feline body thing going on. Now get back to it, little one. Isn't it lonely hanging out here for millennia? She takes a deep breath. I must remember that my perspective on time is different from a mortal's. When one views events on a scale measured in eras, a chat like this is but a fleeting blink among a heaven of stars. She speaks from a pool of knowledge deeper than your entire potential existence, so everything is going really fast for you. The Sphinx take a moment. When a child grows, a house once thought massive will soon start to feel cramped. As time grinds on, the idea of today is no longer a canyon of possibilities. For me, the house is minuscule. That's fascinating. Thank you for sharing your perspective. What about this then? Try jumping side to side really quick. The Sphinx follow your movement with a stale expression. Your impressive movements. You keep it up for almost a full minute before you feel your legs growing sluggish. Your companion stares at you with an open mouth. You like that? Catch your breath. How's that? How's the size of the house now? This is so stupid. The Sphinx has an inscrutable expression on her face, watching you pant like a dog. Those were some spectacular jumps, little one. But please calm down. Okay, jealous? She tilts her head to the side. A moment of contemplation. Fascinating. Mortality makes life beautiful. I've heard that countless times, yet it always comes from those trapped in its clutches. I suppose perspective is everything. Hanging around the tavern can't be too lonely, right? Times have indeed changed. During what you call the arcane era, I had few visitors. These days, I am inclined to enjoy the life surrounding me, even with its occasional annoyances. While the average quality of my conversations might have declined, there's value in communicating with all manners of creatures. Knowledge comes in all shapes. If the world is full of imbeciles, then knowing imbeciles will let you know the world. That is so good. And if that is the case, and how many of those people truly can be called stupid? If you lower the bar. But I'm not an imbecile, right? It's good that you have friends. No one should be alone. qualities over quantities sounds better, honestly. But I'm not an imbecile, right? She stares at you for a long time. Oh, of course not, little one. She says that to everyone. There's no dude sphinx in your life then. Oh my god, you want to date the sphinx? Are you serious? Her expression changes suddenly. I have found that when this question is put to me, despite my vast age, despite my demeanor, despite everything, the inquirer is not referring to companionship. She taps a claw. You wish to speak of reproduction, little one. Cleric, you hear a harsh whisper. Are you sure about this? Is it an awkward subject? Yes, I would like to hear about sphinx reproduction. Are you uncomfortable talking about it? It's not awkward subjects. Yes. Most mortals finds this discussion to lead into very uncomfortable territory. Are you uncomfortable talking about it? Not at all. I can rant about it all day. I would love to hear about it. Her intense glare grows more esoteric. Oh, she's into it. There are many lower races of sphinx, some more bestial than others. Apart from often serving lesser purposes, they also share a common characteristic. She frowns. That was the sphinx equivalent to spitting on the ground. They are all male. Wow. Man sphinxes literally ain't shit. I'm male, nothing wrong with that. How dreadful. Indeed. It just is degenerate sphinxi that naturally crave the companionship of my kind. For a Gynosphinx to lower herself to their level is simply unthinkable. The Gynosphinx, a monstrous being often found undertaking missions for the gods, a feminine force capable of seeing through time and space, collectors of ancient lore and dispenser of riddles, apparently, known to test mortals to uncover their true worth. Then how? The bestial sphinxes should really work on themselves. Any man would desire such beauty in his life. They can't be that bad. Have you ever given them a chance? Should really work on themselves. She gives you a quick laugh. She thinks you're funny. Keep it up. These creatures will never reach such heights. It's not in their nature. The degenerate races of sphinx are born wicked and craven. These creatures are no more similar to I than a horse to a donkey. Okay, not even this. As it implies some level of closeness. Okay, a horse god to a painting of a donkey. Nice. This misconception of our similarities will plague me for eternity, but considering them a legitimate partner, creating more? The Sphinx shakes her head. A true man is his mind. He is not violent by nature, nor is he afraid of action. He is decisive yet tolerant. He is wise yet ready to learn. A true man is a riddle. Yeah, there you go, guys. That's what you should do. The perfect man. He's everything. They cannot be redeemed. They do not have free will. Good on you for stopping them from reproducing, making the world better one sexless day at a time. Okay. They cannot be redeemed. Not as long as they live. However, there is more civilized sphinx apart from my own kind, of course. The glow in her eye intensifies. She enjoys thinking of this manly creature. The Androsphinx, a beautiful, powerful servant of the gods. Few inhabit this coast of ours. Yet those that do, her voice trails off, are assholes, are idiots, are incredibly hot, or what? Are assholes? She snaps her gaze back to you. They are, like all men, insufferably prideful. No, we're not. Oh, and women are all paragons of humanity. I'm sensing a story here. There's always a story. Every bias is brought from perspective, after all. She takes a sip from a barrel and leans her head on her paw.